Welcome to part 10 of Let's Play Wario Blast. So this is where we left off, and we're just going to plow through World 5, which actually does not take me nearly as long as World 4. So, but, you know, we're halfway done with the game as of the beginning of this episode, but you still have to understand that this game has plenty of tricks to pull out of its sleeve. And, the whole thing about it is, I definitely felt like if I can beat this game when I was still like a preteen, I should definitely be able to beat it now. I don't think my skill set as a gamer was lost. So I'm just kinda, I am gonna have confidence that I can continue to whoop this game. This is about the only Bomberman game I've ever beaten, but it's still enough of a thrill just to be able to say that it's worth trying to do. So, but regardless, here's another episode for you, just to kind of say what the what for kind of is. And it is March of 2021, so that's kind of the situation. Just kind of kicking back a bit and thinking about what I'm going to do with this channel. Everything is always so scattershot with my gaming channel. I mean, I'm trying to do movie commentaries, but then I don't know the direction of it. But I have a particular video that's just doing outstanding in recent times. I don't know what to necessarily think in terms of like what's going to happen with this channel. So, I mean, honestly, it will, Acid Roots will turn 7 years old in September, so it just is it feels like it's only been like the past 4 or 5 months that this channel's really been alive, but there's been a multitude of things that have apprehended this YouTube channel. I'm just trying to get it really on its feet, but this is kind of the atmosphere, so I've been kind of doing other things, just relaxing a bit, and I have some sloppy joes in the fridge that I'm probably going to have later on. Kind of eating healthy, but kind of not, so this is kind of like whatever. So, I'm also thinking about doing a movie commentary. I was going to do Freddy vs. Jason, but it seems like there's a number of commentaries that have already done that. So, I would have felt like that's good. I mean, I actually did see that movie back in the day, but I don't know if I want to spend the time. I mean, it's a decent movie, but this would make me wonder about it, I need to start messing with more movies like that. But it just depends. Everything is just so random, and I get tired of things being fluid. It's one of my least favorite things when the curriculum is kind of like that, but it just kind of happens to be the thing. So, but speaking of this game, I wasn't really speaking of it, but to talk about this game a bit, yeah, I mean, if you hit the vents, you get stunned, and that's one of the few ways that I can feel to take out these Warios, because the fact that they can kick bombs really inhibits the ability to beat them. And that's kind of the situation. It just makes it too difficult to figure out how to trap them, because they are smart enough to avoid getting trapped. And even if they do get trapped, they just kick the bomb away. So it's very difficult to subdue these guys. And so the main thing that they're not smart enough to avoid is the vents. So they do hit those, and then you have to take advantage to be able to hurt them in time. But you do have a 100-second time limit, and I'm just that's how I strategize my attempts, because otherwise this world would be particularly difficult without these vents. I mean, that's just kind of the thing. It's not that simple to get rid of them. So, even with the power-ups, don't think that, oh, I'll just get a bunch of power-ups. It's like they can still outrun these massive explosions for the most part, so you're going to need the vents. So, especially when there's 3 opponents. I'm really trying to figure out, like, what other things I'm going to wind up doing. I mean, I'm thinking about doing Donkey Kong Country 2. I want to get some more quick games in order, but I'm kind of burning away at these simple games, because I'm going to have to eventually start doing some RPGs. Like, I thought about doing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest again, but I don't know if I actually have the calibration to defeat that game. If I do, it'd be brilliant, but if I don't want to just get hooked at like a certain point and then get bored with it like I've done how many different times. I guess that's kind of why so many people don't feel like I'm a reliable Let's Player, is because they don't know if I'm actually going to beat the game. And, I mean, I've proven enough times within this past year that I have the ability to kind of do it as long as I can actually beat the game. Not like, you know, in a situation like Prince of Persia, but the problem with it is I'm just not really an RPG gamer. I mean, that's kind of the thing. I can beat like the quick games and stuff like that, but it's really been a chore to be able to take care of like Final Fantasy VII and Mystic Quest back when I did that back in 2018 on acidic routes. So there's just a bunch of fucking shit that kind of makes it difficult to actually say, okay, can I do this? So I'm gonna try, because Mystic Quest is relatively short. I mean, it's kind of an action RPG. I mean, that's the thing about it, is it's relatively brief, and it's one of the most basic Final Fantasy games, but it just has such a thick plot and it's addictive. But I just don't know if I have the gumption to be able to tackle that whole game. But I'm definitely gonna attempt to beat Wario Blast. I mean, with this episode, you will see that I get through with World 5, which just leaves 3 more worlds, and if I can do it like I did this one, it might just be like another 3 or 4 episodes before I have this game done. And that's kind of the thing. I just wouldn't know in particular, but I mean, I know obviously I need to kind of get this in motion because it's been since October of 2015, so it's been a while, but I'm still under like the same, I don't know, I mean, I'm just not in a rush just because I know that it's not like we're, you know, there's not terribly many people who are dying for this game to be beaten, but this is kind of the thing. So just trying to think of otherwise what's going on. Yep. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of everything else that's kind of going on. I got some glazed donuts I'm gonna have. I've been really chewing on those in recent times, and yeah, I'm just messing with some of that stuff. I'm trying to think of what else I got. I got some NBA hats, so those are going to be popping up on my vlog channel. Gary has already messed with like the LA Lakers hat. I'm just been kind of messing with some of those things. That is kind of the situation. I'm trying to at least somewhat boss up. I mean, that's not typically my mentality, is to boss up, but I do at least like the idea of showcasing some new angles and things like that, just to kind of help with entertainment-wise type stuff. So that's gonna happen, but I kind of need another game like Super Tennis, something that's not necessarily been done before, but, you know, can at least attract the occasional viewer. And because that seems to be, I mean, Wario Blast as of right now is my most popular series via playlist, but that's not saying a bunch, but it says enough just to be able to say that it seemed like at least this got a positive reception. That's kind of the thing. So right now it's Wario Blast and Super Mario 3 and then Super Tennis. Those are some of the biggest videos or games that I've done. But I'm just trying to get more things like that, because I don't want to get stuck playing a 100 or 85 part LP like there is with like Final Fantasy VII, because that's going to take forever, and that's just kind of the thing, is I'm just trying to get as many parts as possible so you at least have some valid entertainment. Like if I would have stopped at like part 3 or part 5, it just would have been brief, but I at least got to 31 parts. I'm going to do more than that, but I don't know if I'll beat the game pretty much for a long time. So I just don't want to make any promises, just be kind of content with the entertainment you get. So, but that takes care of the Warios. So now it's time to fight the boss. It was quite the struggle, like I said. I mean, it wasn't the simplest thing to be able to contend with these assholes, just because they're smart. I mean, for AI in 1994, these were actually pretty tricky. the thing. It's the same thing with this boss. I mean, I always thought that AI back in the 80s and 90s was kind of stupid, but no, they're actually rather particular just in how they do. I mean, the boss will move towards you because it knows that you're not supposed to touch it. So you cannot just walk through the boss and think you can get away. I mean, if you're trapped between a bomb and the boss, you're basically going to die. So this is kind of thing. And the thing about it is you can't just bomb these guys because they know that they move slow. So you always have like a particular window as to when you can hurt some of these guys. So you always have to plant the bomb before they attack, and then when they attack, they're vulnerable, and then it hurts them. So, but that's kind of tricky considering that you only have 4 directions that you can go in, and you have to keep out of the bombs, your own bombs patterns. So, it's kind of the thing. But really, I tried to use like I didn't use the bomb lay tactic, but I probably should have. It might have helped. But, you know, once you get the big explosions, it's kind of difficult to get away from all these things. So, there's just going to be some trial and error throughout these next 3.5 minutes. So, I don't know how much I have to talk about, but I'm just trying to think of stuff. I'm almost out of Yoo-Hoo, so that's like my drink of choice right now, despite how lacking I am in drinks I can have. But I've been sipping on those, and I did order some watermelon soda, which I hope it's good. I've never had it before, but hopefully. And if you're wondering, well, it's probiotic soda, so that means it's healthy soda, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see how good it tastes, because I wanted like a cherry one, but they didn't have it, because I used to drink cherry 7-Up back in the day, and that was one of my favorite drinks, but I don't know if they have one. So I would try raspberry, but I don't know. It's kind of the thing, I just need my drinks. There's so many people that drink water these days, I'm just not a fan. I know water is the most basic drink and it doesn't even have taste, but it doesn't. That's not the point. The point is that water doesn't trip my trigger. You know, that's just kind of the situation. So, but yeah, I ordered just a bunch of things, got some goodies, and coronavirus is still in full front. I mean, at least some of my family has gotten the coronavirus shot. Cobalt hasn't gotten the vaccine yet, but he probably will. I'm at least registered for it, but I'm just kinda, I want to get this show on the road, so we can kind of get that underway. I'm tired of not being able to go to Walmart. I know there's not an abundant list of places I go on the regular, but I do miss Walmart. I want to get some Yoo-Hoos and shit like that. It's time. There's other things I'm trying to do also. This has just been a real miscalculation, just because, you know, I am typically a mobile person. I'm very much a night owl. I'm very much someone who likes going to Taco Bell and Walmart and the gas station and places like that. I mean, those were some of my urban places that I went to at least give me the illusion of things I did. So, I mean, I was a pretty active person going those places. I mean, back in 2019, I was getting like ginger ales a lot before I had problems back then, and going to Taco Bell and going to gas stations, getting lottery tickets, shit like that. So I miss lottery tickets. It didn't put me too far ahead of the game, but at least got me some extra bucks. Had a couple dollars in my pocket, which is what I appreciate. So got me my McChickens and shit like that. You could say, but acidic, the women don't like the apple pies and McChickens. They need something real. They need some real food. The ladies out there, they want like lobster and, you know, shrimp and shit like that. Fancy foods. Foods that cost like 85 bucks just for one. Something like that. I don't know. Have to go on Instagram, see what these people actually eat. Hotel food is implied here. We're finally taking care of this asshole. He's almost dead. Or a couple seconds. Alright, folks, subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching.